you want to start a business, or you're really young, you're ambitious, you have a lot of energy in you, you're very curious, and you're just pretty much not comfortable with the life that you have right now. If you're really that person and you're still probably in college and you just want to start a business, you want to make more out of what the life you have right now, what your current situation is, this video is for you. There are a lot of people out here and I guess my audience is mainly just young, so you guys are probably still in college, but you do want to start a business. You see all these online people out there making so much money at such a young age, and you're curious, you're wondering how did they do it, how do you actually start it. What I'm going to do is sort of give you a very very good action step, and not just an action step, but just tell you what you should think about and critically question before starting that. I'm not going to go and tell you now, go start the business model that I'm doing, it's the best out there. I'm not going to give you any sort of shiny object syndrome. I'm going to go and tell you what you should think about and what you should avoid. The way you sort of start with that is, first you want to exercise judgment and ask yourself, when you're doing that, what is your goal? Anything that you want to do, the first question you always ask is, what is my goal? What am I trying to achieve from this? Now, for 99% of you out there, your goal is very simple, and that is to be filthy rich. Now, I know that a lot of you guys are probably still in college, and you probably will graduate with like six figures a year in salary once you graduate, and that's in US dollars. I can promise you that is not a lot of money. After making a multi six figure run rate, the only thing that I have realized is what a small fish I actually am.
What?
There's still a lot more that to do, and honestly, like, just making six figures a year, you're not really gonna make anything pretty much. So this video is for the ones that really want to get filthy rich, and I mean filthy like at least a seven-figure run rate. When you do that, ask yourself, what is my goal? 99% of you want to be rich. The other 1% now want to impact the world and just make the world a better place and make it positively impacted. You're a better person than I am, and I don't think this video is really gonna help you, so feel free to skip.
Get right here, man.
For the other 99% of you guys, when you ask that and when you understand, okay, this is my goal, you want to then think about what is the easiest and quickest way to get there. I promise you, it can be done much, much, much quicker than what the traditional and conventional standards are and the norms are. I'm 19 and I'm making a multi six figure run rate. The one thing that you sort of have to do is understand what is sort of the easiest way to go about it. And the easiest way to do it as a young person with zero business experience, absolutely no fucking idea what they're doing, you have to first come to that realization. Okay, you cannot get entitled and think, yeah, I have the energy I wanted, so yeah, I'm gonna do it. No, there's gonna be a long amount of time when you first start where you're not making any money, and that is where it comes to what business you should start. The way you accelerate your income and make that first million is by increasing your income. Okay, you want to get that business model, you want to get a nice business model where you can sort of fail for the first 18 months and it still doesn't matter, because you can still put in money for the 19th month and still function the way you should be functioning to sign your deals and sign your first clients. That is what you want to be focusing on. So it doesn't matter if you fail for the first 18 months, and trust me, that is a very very good possibility, and that's a high probability that it is going to happen. Just because you're young, you have absolutely no idea what systems are, you have no idea what feedback loops are, you don't know how to deal with churn, you don't know what latency is, you pretty much just don't operate at any level whatsoever to even think about, yeah, I'm going to make this in the first 3 months. So when you do start a business, think about the least riskiest option. That is something that truly, like, people don't understand, because people come to me and tell them, I see what you're doing with your business, you're making so much money, you're only young, you just dropped out of college, how do you even take that risk? Like, how do you even start? Then I ask them, what business do you want to start? What are you looking to do? 1% of them tell me, I want to start a real estate fund, or yeah, I'm going to invest in the stock market, or I'm going to start a hedge fund. Like, and I'm sitting there thinking, you are generally, like, mentally, there's something mentally wrong with you to think that you want to do that before starting out. Like, you have to be genuinely very very stupid to actually think that that is how you want to start off. Now, the other 99% of people, they pretty much just come out of something that they're passionate about, or they just see some other people do it, so yeah, they do that. And it's usually these traditional business models, like starting a fucking fashion brand. And I'm sitting there and thinking, who doesn't like good clothes? That doesn't mean you have to start a business. Goes back to my first point of exercising judgment. What is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? Now, there are other people out there that want to start a tech app. They see Elon Musk or other entrepreneurs revolutionizing the world, and they think, yep, that's the way to do it. All of these colleges, they sort of like promote this thing that, yeah, you want to do entrepreneurship, you have to come up with a really good idea. When I was growing up in school, even in college, every time there were entrepreneurship fests, it was always related to the next best idea. But look, you do not have to be the next Elon Musk. You don't have to start this new thing. You can simply take an existing business model, streamline that version, and make a lot of money doing it. So don't fucking follow your passion. Don't fall for these myths of, yeah, I have to change the world, revolutionize the world. Look, if that is your mission, truly a mission, and money aside, you don't give a shit about money, please go and do that. You're a better person than I am, and I'm not saying don't do that. But if your goal is really to just make a lot of money, you want to do it in this way where you have this business model that doesn't really bootstrap you. With these tech apps and these fashion apps, you have to worry about warehouses, you have to worry about hiring people, you need fashion designers, you need a really good website. And then that's like just the tip of the iceberg. When you're starting a tech app, you're gonna have to like go and get funding. When you start a business, it's literally like you looking at that business like it's your baby. So you actually have to give a stake of that child of yours to other people just because you don't have money to run that business. So when you start these tech apps, you're pretty much bootstrapped. And even if there's money coming in the business, you're most likely not a net profit. And even if you are a net profit, that money stays in the business, and your lifestyle doesn't really change. With my agency and the business that I'm doing, I have cash. Like, I have cash in my bank account. So I can go right now and live my lifestyle that I want to live. I can live the life that people wait to live once they're 40, and then they can finally retire and get that really nice penthouse. So trust me, when you want to think about anything starting business, think about that goal. So my goal is simple: getting filthy rich so I can take care of my family, my friends, my community, and obviously like the responsibility that comes with that. And then secondly, improving my lifestyle. I want an immediate lifestyle upgrade. When you're starting these tech apps, you're pretty much bootstrapped. You can't take the money out, and you are also like very much accountable to your investors. It's like you are the founder of that business, but if shit goes to fail, like you have to like still be accountable to them. You may be like the CEO, but you're not really like the only sole decision maker. So when investments like that come as well, like, you're pretty much giving away a part of your business just because you don't have money to run it. Like, to me, that just sounds very fucking stupid. And let's not also get into the fact that you need so much money to just learn coding, get these best coders to like sort of build this thing and then develop this good algorithm. It's not that expensive, trust me. But like, it's still money that you have to think about putting in. You need to put in at least a few $1,000s every single month to get these businesses moving. Many other agencies that are out there, or even in any service based business model, you want to do something where you can put in not even like $400 $500 max a month for softwares, emails, things like that, and you're making way more from just one deal that you sign. And that one deal, it doesn't matter if you sign it in the third year as well. You just got to keep going. And trust me, those are the business models where, as long as you just don't stop, you don't quit, and you just never give up, there is no way that you do not fail. Like, trust me, it is actually really easy if you just put your head down, keep doing it, and just make sure that you're not putting in so much money and you're not just making stupid decisions. So the way these businesses work, right, it's mainly like organic form of getting clients and generating sales. You can post content, you can do email marketing, which is really good. You can use cold email. That's one of the best channels for my agency. You can do cold DMs. There are a lot of ways where you're literally putting in $0 and you're getting a lot of. Imagine if you just post like one reel. I'm not saying the first reel is going to go viral, but just say you keep posting content. By day 100, I promise you, even if you get like 10,000 views per reel, just convert 1% of that. How much is that? 100 people. Okay, let's take 0.1%. You're getting 10 people out there. Even if you're selling a course for, or even if you have a service which is for like $500, that's $5,000 generated from just one reel. And that reel took you absolutely nothing to make. Like, it took $0 to make. All you had to do was put your time, script, film, and put yourself out there. And people objected. I mean, people have like this resistance to like posting content and things like that. That's a whole different topic of putting yourself out there. But there's so many easy ways to make money out here, and it shouldn't really take a lot of money to put in. So the next time you want to do a business, exercise judgment, ask yourself what's your goal, and then think what is the easiest way to do it. And as a young person, the number one thing you should be worried about is, how can I fail and still keep it moving? Because you are gonna fail. You have no fucking idea what you're doing, and you will fail. It doesn't matter though, because on the 18th month, even if you fail, on the 19th you can sign that first client, get that first deal, and pretty much just go net profit. Like literally all the first 18-month expenses you can make back in just signing two deals on that 19th month. So it's pretty much like deal with that failure, that the mindset that comes with that, but then think about the business model that you want to run. Do something service based, even if it's product based, like you can manage it, but it's not worth it. Like it's just honestly not worth it. Getting all these tech apps, trying to change the whole world, making this next best product. You have so many overheads to think about. You have so many costs to think about. So just please, please, please avoid that. Honestly, that's the best advice I can give you. Avoid that. Start something service based, and I hope you really, really take this advice at heart. Understand like the risk that really comes from starting these businesses, because when people think of starting a business, they have this whole like fundamental traditional way of thinking of it, and it doesn't have to be that way. There's a whole different world there. So trust me on this. I hope you really take the plunge and put yourself in the waters. That's all you have to pretty much do to get started. So I'll see you guys in the next video.